everybody. Welcome to Monday with Margaret. I'm so excited about the sun coming out and it being a little bit warmer. It is like speaking my language. And thinking about speaking my language, you know what this is, February, the month of love. And so it is definitely making me think about when I fell in love with Chris. And so we have a funny story. Well, we have many funny stories, but I want to tell you the story about how we got together, how we fell in love and got together. So, of course, we're late bloomers, and I was about 38 and had gone to a conference. And of course, when you're that age, all of your friends want to match make you and get you married like them. So everybody's like, don't you like somebody? Don't you want to get married? Are you praying? And I was like, oh, leave me alone. But anyhow, so they wore me down. And so I got ready to leave this conference, which I had many dates. And I just knew that one of my dates from Atlanta would probably be somebody that I might like. So I leave Atlanta and I pray this prayer: God, if my husband is here, let him call and ask me on a date. So I get back to Nashville and listen to my messages, and on my voicemail, it's Chris Ziegler calling, asking me on a date. I was like, oh, I kind of knew him a little. Didn't kind of seem like my type, but not what I was expecting. So I was like, oh. So I kind of disregarded it. I did go on a date with them. I remember we went to TCAP and saw Phantom of the Opera and had a blast, had so much fun. And so from that point on, we were both in the singles ministry at the church we were going to, and we became really good friends. And I loved his heart. I loved how he treated people and that sort of thing. I didn't like him, but I really respected him as a guy. So fast forward, we're really good friends, and life goes on. And 2 years later, the year that I'm about to turn 40, everybody's on me again. Don't you want to get married? Are you praying? And all of this. I was like, oh. And so for some reason, I prayed the same prayer. I didn't remember it 2 years ago. I just prayed, God, if my husband is here, let him call and ask me on a date. Because I pray real specific things because I want to make sure that it's what God wants me to do, not just me, especially something big like that. So I prayed this prayer. He called again and asked me on a date. And it was just like water was splashed on me. I was like, oh my gosh, it just woke me up. I was like, this happened 2 years ago. Can this really be? So we went on the date and fell in love, and this was like in May, I think, and we're married in November. So that's how I fell in love with Chris. It was a prayer. And I had been married before when I was 22 and divorced when I was 22. So it was definitely a big decision for me and something that I had to know that was God's plan and not just, my plan. And so as you think about the things that you want, and we're all dreamers. We're dreamers, and we got goals, and it's things that we want. It's like, are you praying for those things? And then a lot of times you got to think about it. It took 2 years. It was 2 years. Now maybe if I hadn't have been like, oh no, that's not the GQ man that I'm looking for, maybe it wouldn't have taken that long. But it was 2 years for me to get the man that God had planned for me. So I hope that inspires you to pray specifically for whatever, for that child, for a job, for a husband or a wife. I hope that it inspires you to know that prayers are answered a lot of times. So we'll see you next week. Hope to see you in the store this week. Come by and see us, okay? Bye-bye.